Hey guys, what's up? Hey, I am all sweaty and nasty from the, sorry, camera's over here, from the rounds demonstration that I just did with you guys. But I wanted to go ahead and make this video real quick since I'm already out here. I've got everything all set up. My house is, well, nice and quiet for now, but I want to go through just some technique stuff. We already pretty much talked about keeping everything locked in. So I'm going to head over to the mat and just kind of show you a few things to really watch your technique. My intention is not to harm you in any way. So these are the things that you need to be thinking about every time that we're doing our exercises, no matter what we're doing. There's a few key elements that you want to make sure to always watch out for, and that's just to protect your arms, your shoulders, upper body, and also your back and legs and knees and everything else. So we're just going to run through a few things that you can be thinking about, okay? First up is just keeping your core locked tight that we talked about in the video. Basically, your abs always need to be tight. Now, that doesn't mean like sucking in, okay? It's not like trying to walk around like, you know, you don't have a belly, because we all have a belly, okay? So don't try to pretend that you don't. It just means locking everything up. Everybody has muscle under there. Whether you can see it or not, different story, but you all have muscle underneath that stomach area, okay? So it's basically just contracting everything as tight as you can, okay? Usually what happens when you're doing that, and I'm sorry, I just got my hair done, and my hair is red, and now my towel is all red, so what you see is what you get. Sorry, guys. Anyhow, when you're standing straight, you want to make sure everything is in line, okay? When you're loose, I have honestly a hard time kind of demonstrating it because it's just been kind of driven into me to always have my core and my form locked tight. But what kind of tends to happen is the hips are going to roll forward when everything's nice and straight, okay? You should be nice and pencil straight. If there's any flexion back here or any sort of unlocking, you're going to start noticing this, okay? Your natural response, guys and girls, doesn't matter, is when you tighten everything up, everything just kind of locks into place here. What you need to be careful of is that you're not doing this, okay? Totally different. The hip rotation comes naturally. When you tighten up those abs, okay, right now, let me take a deep breath. I am completely relaxed, okay? I have a little bit of a curvature, not much, okay? But when I tighten up, okay, and you can see I just exhaled too because that helped me. When I exhale, everything tightens up to where it's supposed to be. So no matter what exercise we are going through, anything, it doesn't matter, from a crunch to something jumping around to just standing and doing some bicep curls. I don't care what it is. This is number one, okay? Your core is your frame. That is your foundation. If this is not secure, everything else is going to fall apart, okay? And the first thing to go is going to be your back, because usually it happens on opposite sides. If this is weak, you're going to feel the pain back here. If this is weak, you're going to feel the pain all up in the front. If your hamstrings are weak, you're going to feel it in the quads and so on and so forth, okay? So most back pain is really coming from a weak core, okay? We're going to work on that, you guys. All right, next thing is to protect the shoulders, ligaments, and everything up here, okay? So from the back, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show you this real well in this light, but I want you to think of your scapula, which are your big bones back here, okay? They should always be nice and flat when you're working out, okay? Not here. Not rounded, not punched over, anything like that. Everything should always be locked that tight. I want you to think as if you're laying down on the mat, and I'm sorry, let me move this down a little bit so I can show you some little exercises that you can do to kind of test if your shoulders are straight. So if you put your arms way up here like this, okay, see how I kind of reached up off the floor? That's where most people start and end their exercises, okay? I want you here. Sorry, my shoulders are actually a little bit up, a little bit closer to my ears than what I want. You want to be straight down here. And the arms are always going to be there. I don't care what you're doing. Again, jumping around, bouncing, or actually doing something with the arms, they should be here. You can practice your flexibility by keeping those shoulder blades locked and working through some rotations here. I have a little bit of weakness in my right side, as you'll be able to tell here. That's about as far down as I can go. And then coming back, I'm okay. But coming down, I have a lot of inflexibility that I have to work on personally. But that's just a matter of stretching and keeping everything locked in where it's supposed to be. Okay, so those are some exercises you can do to test. As soon as you start feeling those shoulder blades come up, see what just happened there? That's when you know when to stop. okay? They should not do that at all. And again, those are things that we're working on. If you have, some really pretty, severe shoulder issues, a lot of times people are going to feel a lot of pain right up in here. Again, it's stemming from back here. So if you notice anything at all, shoot me an email, call me, text me, whatever. I can give you some at-home exercises to do to help get that all strengthened and hopefully put back together again. I'm not a therapist by any means, but I can definitely help straighten, things up as long as there's no major damage, like a ripped ligament or something like that. I ain't no doctor. You need to call somebody for that. Breathing takes just as much training as anything else. I'm sure some of you have probably done yoga, and that's wonderful. Yoga is amazing, and it can really help control the breathing. Learning to breathe in a high intensity atmosphere is really what's key, because many times when people are feeling lightheaded, winded, nauseous, things like that, it's because the body's just plain not getting enough oxygen. The heart rate's going too high, and you're not able to control that heart rate. It comes with training, just like anything else. If you do push-ups every single day, you're going to get better. If you learn to breathe right every single day, you're going to get better. Okay, so I want you learning to breathe a little bit more out of your diaphragm, which is more in your belly. Opening the belly up, and then exhaling. Sorry, one moment, I'm recording a video. Shut the door. Life. Breathing in through the belly, out through the mouth. Now, another thing is, and I kind of talked about this in the video, is when the heart rate gets going and we're excited and we're jumping around, your normal response is a, real fast paced, panting basically to try to catch your breath. Try to keep yourself away from that, okay? Because that's what causes hyperventilation and passing out and all that good fun stuff that we don't want to do. Okay, so even though it feels really uncomfortable, I need you to force the long, deep breaths, okay? So if you hear me, like when I'm working out, pushing all that air out, that's what I want you to focus on. Focus on that exhale, even though it's uncomfortable. The longer that you do it, the better that you are going to get at it, and it's going to start feeling a lot better than breathing too fast. So shoulders, core, just thinking about, when you go through your motions, when you're doing your push-ups, always think about, okay, is everything in line? Check. My core is tight, my shoulders are back, I'm ready to go, okay? You're doing a bicep curl. My shoulders are locked, core is tight, everything's ready to go. You always want to kind of go through that head-to-toe check just to make sure that you've got everything ready. Or if you start and then you realize, oh crap, something doesn't feel right, just stop. Stop completely, restart, reset is what I like to say. You just kind of do a quick switch and just make sure that you're all lined up and ready to go. Covered breathing. Those are really the main three areas that are the top concern. When it comes to squats and lunges and things like that, most of your weakness and people that have trouble with squats, things like that, I will give modifications for all the exercises that we do. So I'm not going to go everything right here, but kind of as we're working through our month. If you need a modification, if it's something that you don't think you can do or something you've tried before and you're having pain with, again, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, whatever, call me, I don't care, and I'll get you a modification. Sometimes if I'm busy at work or with clients, it's literally going to be, I'm going to pull something off the web and show it to you. But I know what to look for, and I know exactly what you need for whatever it is that you're having troubles with. But just make sure when you're squatting, especially, most of knee pain that more than 90%, I don't know the exact number, I'd be interested to find it, but most people that have knee pain, it's actually stemming from your hips. It's coming from hip and actually core weakness, because again, once this falls out of line, so does everything else, okay? And that's what causes problems. It's not actually a knee problem, it's knee pain that you're having stemming from other things. So don't just say, I can't do something because my knee hurts. Let's fix the problem so that you can do it, okay? There's usually always a fix. Make sure when you're squatting, for those of you that don't have too many issues with it, that you're coming down straight in a line, okay? Watch that you're not doing this. Watch that you're not doing this, okay? Any sort of rolling, that's going to put unnecessary pressure on those knees. So you always want to check yourself when you're squatting, and you can do that just by looking down and making sure that everything's all in line, okay? If you guys have any questions, that's pretty much all I can generically go through, I guess, right now, just to make sure that we have all of our bases covered. But if you have any specific questions before we get started, just let me know, okay? I'll be more than happy to work with you. Don't be scared at all, okay? This is going to be a lot of fun. Some days are going to be tough, Some days are gonna suck. Some days are gonna be like, oh yes, thank you, I needed that. It was great, it was wonderful, it was easy. Some days are gonna be hilarious. Some days are gonna be challenging, not just physically, but mentally and everything else. So you have no idea what I'm gonna pull out of that bag. So we're all gonna have fun with it, keep each other accountable. Let's have fun.